Testing, 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 testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right. Hello. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me. Let's do a quick sound check on YouTube. See how many people we can get in here live. See if you can hear me well, if you can see me. You're going to have to pardon me from time to time because the microphone works great, but for some reason Samsung Yeah, for some reason Samsung cuts my mic off. Streamlabs or OBS seems to cut my mic off from time to time. Anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me. Hello. All right. Thanks for coming in. Say something in the chat so that I know you're here. Okay, I really appreciate that. We're going to give people some time to come in. I want to give everybody a chance to get in before we start talking. This is a hot topic. A lot of people are talking about what's going on between Dr. Umar Johnson and Kevin Samuels, both of whom are brothers who I appreciate. I want to get that out here. I want to get that out there, okay? I'm not jumping into this beef. Actually, I don't think the beef should be happening, although I do believe both brothers have something positive to say in their own right. And they may actually have a legitimate criticism of each other if they can deliver it properly and respectfully. But neither one of these brothers actually follows my particular paradigm or my goal, which is to try to restore dignity to the Black American patriarchal family. And I don't say patriarchal because I want guys to be bossing women around. I really don't. Because that's not what I mean when I say patriarchy. A lot of people have kind of misclassified patriarchy as being male dominance over women or male abuse of women. What it is with this microphone. I really don't know what it is with this microphone, but it keeps bouncing in and out, right? It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm gonna keep my eye on it for you guys, and please let me know in the chat if it drops out. Now, where are we gonna start? Well, maybe I'll start with Dr. Umar. What it is with this microphone? Dr. Umar has been around for the longest, and Dr. Umar has been around for a few years. He's been building a school for a few years, and like a lot of other people, we're wondering, when is it going to finally get done? I mean, when are we going to finally when are we going to finally have the damn school, man? I mean, there are a lot of schools, a lot of people who would like to educate our children or who would like to see such a format as what you're describing for our kids. Let's start with where I agree with you, Dr. Umar. I agree with you very much as far as the school to prison pipeline that they're putting our kids in for special ed. Okay, especially black boys. They like to get into the game of results from a search. They like to get into the game of saying that the child has an aversion to math or an aversion to certain subjects or does not perform at the same capacity. Now, with regard to my son, with regard to my son, I had to struggle with his diagnosis on the autism spectrum since he was 2 years old. Now he's 14, and we have gotten rid of the symptoms known as autism for my son. We've relieved him of, recovered him from the majority of the symptoms known as autism. Right now, I'm having to deal with a deliberate campaign of emotional abuse, emotional disturbance. So I have to continue to fight and struggle for my son to be happy, because this is something that I've invested a lot of my time and effort and money into since he's been born. And wow, a film van is passing by outside. This is pretty cool. So I totally am in support of Dr. Umar Johnson with regard to the special device. Sorry about that. I have to continually monitor this device to make sure it's not muting out. And like I said, it's the computer, it's not the microphone. I really don't understand that. Maybe I've got a virus or something I should clear up or install another operating system. But where was I? Now, where do I agree with Dr. Umar? I was gonna write notes for this, and then I thought about it and I'm like, I'm not going to read from notes because I know exactly where I stand as far as this is concerned. I have a lot of support and respect for Dr. Umar Johnson, especially with regard to his ideas with reference to education and the fact that our children are not being educated properly. Afternoon, may I help you? Good morning. Hello. And so I do support his efforts. Where do I vehemently disagree with him? With his stance on interracial relationships. I think that's retrograde, backwards, stupid, and racist. And I think it kind of reflects that maybe my man never got laid, by anybody outside of the race, and never got to the point of getting that out of his system. It seems like he may be dealing with some repressed desires when he so viciously attacks brothers who happen to date outside of the quote unquote black race. The black American race is not pure African, and probably was not pure African before Columbus stepped on this shore, among the people that were here already. And I just think that's kind of a childish and asinine social thing to hold up a hatred for people who happen to choose or to think that makes them less black, right? Because the result after that is the next thing you're going to say is that children who don't have 100% African DNA are not black enough, and all of that just makes you a racist, man. It makes you a scientific racist, and it makes people, for a person in the field of education, we expect you to be an educated man, and educated people have a hard time respecting bigots. Intrinsicism is invalid. All intrinsicism is invalid. In fact, all determinism is invalid. Nature as well as nurture. So unless your goal is to simply be an imitation, a chocolate-covered imitation of your perceived oppressor, then you can kind of get beyond that hatred of, if you're married to a person who's not black, then you can't teach at my school and whatever. Because really what you're doing is you're expressing a bunch of emotionality. And one of the main critiques of us as black men is that we are more emotional than rational. And so what you're doing is you're feeding into stereotypes by having such vitriol and having such an exclusionary attitude toward other people. There are going to be people like me who are extremely light-skinned, who also are black or who also identify themselves as black. And you're not really by clinging to these particular I don't know what you want to call them, right? Obsession, I guess you could say, sexual obsession or obsession with interracial sex or whatever. Then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, making yourself look stupid, and losing the respect of intelligent people and people who have money that can actually help you. Okay, run my donations. That's disrespectful, man. You're speaking to people in a manner that you're only going to attract people who are not accustomed to being respected. And maybe that's why it's taken so long for you to get this school together. Okay, I'm not going to judge you about getting laid. I'm not going to judge you about who you sleep with. I'm not going to judge you about being a dog. I'm not going to judge you about that. I'm not going to judge you about being a player. I'm not going to judge you about being a sexually active single man, because I am all of those things. So I'm not a hypocrite, and I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't believe in ad hominem attacks. I do believe that, we can give constructive criticism, like I just gave, constructive criticism that, if you think about it, will probably help and probably widen your net and probably increase your sphere, enlarge your sphere of influence, right? Your sphere of influence will grow as you prove yourself to be more mature, level-headed, and educated man who is ready to deal with people of all races for the betterment of black people. Regardless of what comments you may have heard or quotes you may have gotten from Malcolm X back in the day, there are people of goodwill in every race, and that is what we call being an American. And we do have the ability to consider ourselves, although I do understand and appreciate your Pan-African nationalism, we do have the ability to consider ourselves Americans. And when we own ourselves, when we own our citizenship, when we own our position as American citizens, we are in the most powerful position that we could possibly be in. Okay. Secondly, well, I'm going to get off of that. I'm not going to go into that. You're going to hear me talk about the whole victim mentality in future videos. So I'm not going to go into that. All right. You're going to see me talk about that when I'm in my studio. Glad to be back in my office, by the way, right now. Okay. So what else? Where are we going with this? Now, Kevin Samuels, my man. Okay. Style, class. I like it. Image. And he makes a lot of points that make sense, especially with respect to the enmity that seems to be happening between black men and black women in today's society, especially with respect to the I don't need no man mentality that is left more than 70% of our children being raised in single parent households. It is insulting to assume that black children can be raised in single parent households without consequence. And there are consequences. There are terrible consequences, and we are suffering from those consequences right now. So I think what Kevin's doing is very constructive. I think a lot of the work he's doing is constructive. Now, of course, it has to have entertainment value. So in order to have entertainment value, it has to have a stick, right? A shtick. And the shtick that I've seen, that I've noticed with my man Kev is, it's kind of a smack your face way of talking. And I like it. I'm blunt. I am straightforward and direct. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't like me because of my honesty, or a lot of people can't deal with me because they are afraid that I am a brutally honest person. And I don't lie. Okay? I don't lie. I don't lie to anyone. I think it makes it easier for me to do business, and it also makes me a better person. But it also, at the same time, it narrows the amount of people. It shrinks your circle of friends, because very few people actually have integrity and are actually able to live with integrity. Now, Kev, I can't disagree with any of what you're saying, because a lot of us, men and women, we need to wake up. We need to wake the fuck up, and we need to get our shit together. I hate to cuss like that, but that's the truth. And sometimes you need a swift kick in the butt in order to help you calibrate your common sense, right? And I think that this is a time right now that Kevin Samuels is needed. In fact, quite a few people like Kevin Samuels are needed. Now, critiques, I would say, high value man. Although I presently do reach the salary requirement as set forth by Kevin Samuels of a high value man, I would like to say that I was high value before I made as much money as I do now. And so that income level for Kevin Samuels' definition of a high value man happens to pass right over the head of a lot of guys who may not be high value by Kevin's definition, but they are high values men. They have values. They have good values. And, I think back to Good Times, right? Now, James Evans is not what Kevin Samuels would consider a high value man. James Evans was a hard-working laborer. He was a blue-collar guy. He didn't make money. But you would not have known that by the way he was treated by Florida. Florida was a high-value wife, 100%. And she was, of course, the backbone of the family. And damn, we need more wives like Florida today, okay? We need more families like on Good Times, where it didn't matter how much money they had dignity. And I think that's the important thing. That's the important thing that we need to understand. I'm trying to restore dignity to the Black American family, and that is what is needed most of all. Now, I'm afraid that Kevin Samuels may be adding a little bit of kerosene to the fire of the war between the sexes, but this kerosene has to burn itself out for us to see the ashes and to build up from the ashes afterward. Because where we're headed now, the age of the beta man, of the beta cuck black man, black husband, that's not going to happen. That's not going to work for us. Okay? We're afraid. We're living under a gynocracy. We're living under a matriarchal system, and it's having a detrimental effect on our children. And ultimately, I want us to create God's paradise on earth. However, whatever your religious, persuasion is, or your religious slant, whatever it is that you feel, okay, I want us to be able to live and enjoy and create families, okay? Families are the only way that we are going to be able to establish generational wealth. And generational wealth is the way to live and survive and be competitive in the United States of America. Now we are finding ourselves on par with millions of people who are climbing over the wall every day to come into the country. And we have been here for 400 years of plus, right? Some of our families, like my own, have been here before Columbus, okay? So it's high time that we establish generational wealth. Although it was not established for us in many instances by our predecessors because of the racism and things that our families have had to go through here in the United States in previous decades, that doesn't stop us from being able to do that for our children today moving forward. So what's Devin Lockett going to do? Devin Lockett's going to obviously do things a little bit differently. I'm not an educator. I am an educator in biomedical engineering, but I'm not an educator in general K-12 education. And I'm not an image consultant, although I do tend to look pretty nice myself. I dress pretty well. I keep a nice chapeau nearby. You know what I mean? Try to stay sharp. But I'm not an image consultant, a la Kevin Samuels. But and we just do things differently, right? As people, as men, we do things differently. Everybody has their style. Okay. Now, the beef between Kevin Samuels and Umar Johnson. Well, Umar Johnson is addressing young ladies in a certain way, and Kevin Samuels addresses them in another way. I believe that both have merit, both have value, and I don't believe that they are mutually exclusive. I don't believe that it's impossible for one to embrace both philosophies, that of Mr. Samuels and that of Dr. Johnson. Okay, but and then seeing black men at each other's throat, that just gets so tired. It gets so played. You know what I mean? It gets fucking played out. Constantly seeing brothers fighting each other. You know what I mean? Battle rapping. Tearing each other down for no reason. We fight each other more than we fight anybody else. And it's just ridiculous. But at the same time, these are two guys who get lots of followers on YouTube, a great following on YouTube, and it's only going to help both of them make both of their channels popular by talking about each other or by including each other in their beef or their spat or whatever it is. All right. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I don't like it. I would rather see us love each other. I would rather see us grow our afros out and spend 10 minutes giving dap when you come across a brother on the street. I like the days of, dashikis and tie-dye and bell-bottoms and platform shoes and, peace, love, and so, that's where I come from, right? That's where I come from. And that's the vibe that I'm trying to get back, not only in the black American community, but in the American community, not only in the American community, but in the world community. Now, we're having a lot of difficulty right now, right? Because we got people trying to define culture for us. We're in the age of hostile takeovers of our Constitution and our government and our way of life. Free speech is under attack. The Second Amendment is also under attack. The First and Second Amendments are under attack. And this is a very flexible and fluid time. This is a very powerful time in our history in this country. But we're going to get through it, right? We're going to get through it. And that's my piece, man. I mean, I like Kevin Samuels' work. Very powerful. Yeah, don't be so mean to the sisters, man. Don't be so mean to the sisters. And let's try to foster more love. Let's try to foster more love. All right. Let's try to foster more love between each other and within our race. We have to do that. And Dr. Johnson, run them donations. Run them donations. Take the donations that are being run to you and please put the school together and stop complaining about how much people don't want to do for you or how much people don't want to do for black people or whatever. Because what that's telling us is that once the school's doors open, that we're never going to stop hearing your mouth asking for money. And, if it's not going to be a self-supporting functional entity, either as a private or charter or as a public school, if it don't make dollars, brother, then it don't make sense, regardless of how pure your intentions are for the education of the children. Okay, that's my only point, man. I'm not a hater, and I am a lover, and I'm definitely not one to take sides between brothers, especially brothers that are both doing a lot of good for the community, right? Brothers that are actually putting it down like that. Say something in chat so that I know you're here. I want to make sure that you guys can still hear me. Okay. So that's cool. Everything is blessed. Everything is wonderful. And everything is coming together smoothly. Happy Monday, everyone. Monday is Elegba Day. Okay. Eshu Elegbara. We're having a wonderful day. It is a nice, cool, overcast day. Nice and cloudy. I've got customers coming in for CBD, and I have to pick up some T-shirts today. I ordered a couple of hundred Biomed RX CBD shirts and Biomedrix medical marijuana shirts. And the medical marijuana logo is the coolest. So I'm going to be wearing it, sporting it, stepping out to the west side, black shirts with white writing on it. So you guys know how it is. You already know. Look forward to some new merch. Devin Lockett shirts, Biomedrix shirts, Biomedrix CBD shirts, Biomedrix medical marijuana shirts, job site route shirts. I've got a lot of business entities. And look out for Caliano Romeo. I'm relaunching the Caliano Romeo fashion line with a line of swimsuits. So we're going to be modeling swimsuits. We're going to be doing pretty well. Okay. Yes, I am always looking for swimsuit models. Even when I'm not looking for swimsuit models, I'm looking for swimsuit models. But by all means, send your email to info@devinlockett.tv and info@devinlockett.com and info@calianoromeo.com with your pictures if you would like to be a model. All right. And being a bikini model for Caliano Romeo is a lot of fun. Let these ladies tell you.
Biomedrix Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
Yes, you can find our vitamins online at biomedrxsupplements.com. But what I really want you to do is get some CBD oil from Biomedrix CBD.
Gold label quality Biomed RX CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate free, gluten free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Yes, biomedrixcbd.com. So, yes, thank you very much for joining me again. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm not going to keep you all day. It's 12:47. It's almost 1. My son's going to be here in about an hour. So if I want to take a ride and pick up my T-shirts and do some things, I better do it now. So I hope you guys have a great day. And I will go live later on from my studio. Peace.